Right. Clint, former Mr. Doom and Gloom. Last year you were not so optimistic about the flexible foam industry's performance in 2023, but the final numbers are now showing only a slight decrease of production compared to the year before. So what is your comment on this?
Well, thank you for making sure that Mr. Doom and Gloom is no longer, but I'm happy to pass it on to anybody else that wants to be totally negative. No, seriously, I think we looked at last year, and in the Slido presentation, we saw that everybody predicted something like about a -5, -10. I think we were all surprised when we saw a -1.8 for the whole region, but that's not the whole story. I think we have to break it down to the regions and see that Turkey grew by another 8.4%, Russia grew by over 40%, which effectively for a lot of us are closed markets. So 2023 ended up good old Europe at -5, and I think everybody should be relatively happy from where we were. I think moving on from that into 2024, I've got rid of Mr. Doom and Gloom purely because we're not going backwards, but I think the best case scenario for 2024 would be flat or maybe even +1 or 2. And I'm talking about good old Europe here as opposed to the big booming emerging markets. So I think Mr. Doom and Gloom has moved on, but we're not out of it yet. I don't want everybody to be totally euphoric and say, great, we're moving up again. No, I think to be realistic, we are at the bottom and we are slightly moving up.
All right. Well, you answered my next question, which is the production you're expecting this year. But what is perhaps your comment on the business resilience of Turkiye, which became the largest slab-set PU foam producer in wider European region?
Well, I did congratulate them on moving in as #1 slab stock foamer within our region. I think they've overcome quite a few significant challenges in terms of growth, very weak currency, which has given them a big advantage in terms of export. They've been able to grasp that opportunity and grow. They've also, sadly, had the earthquake that happened early in 2023, which allowed the local foamers to produce low-grade mattresses for at least people to use who are affected by the earthquake, and a lot of that was done as donations. Nevertheless, it did push up their production. Going forward, hopefully they don't have that problem again, so that will make going forward a bit more challenging. And some of the credit squeezes that are taking place at the OEMs seem to be hitting Turkey harder than other markets. So there are some headwinds there. They've done a fantastic job in grabbing the opportunity, plus they also have the advantage of being able to import raw materials at a lower rate than the rest of people, because they don't actually have to pay the import taxes into the EU, and it's easier for them to import from places like China and Saudi Arabia.